Greetings everyone. Greetings everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Krishna Sania, and this is my third quarter of improvement that would have started from 1st of July and it would have lasted till 30 30 of October, I believe. And well, but that didn't happen. I was quite late in making this video and uploading it. I am making it on 4th of July, and talking about my improvement, well, I am shameless to say that I have simply made this an achievement that I have not made any improvement in the last 3.5 years. I started my self-improvement journey back in the 1st of January 2022, and from 2022 to 2023 to 2024 and now 2025. So there are more than 36 months, sorry, not 36 months, that will be around 42 months, 42 plus months have been passed. This is my 43rd month of improvement, and well, I have not made achievements. This is enough time for a person to become a topper of a civil service examination. 3 years is a long time. Some are even able to do it in 1 or 2 years. And I have not really made any improvement. But this is also quite an achievement that I am shameless in saying and admitting this. Why? Because if I have most people in life, they are fearful in trying, just because of the way how they would be made fun at by the failures and the mistakes they will make. And for this, I will give my own example. Back when I was a little child, and there was this dance. There were nominees. I'm not able to say the word right now. Teachers, they were selecting students for dance, and at that time I thought if I do anything stupid move, then everyone will laugh, and that's why I didn't try. And just because of that, I never really become someone who was confident in dancing in front of everyone. And the same goes for speech. I have this stammering difficulty, due to which I never really spoke in front of crowd, and that was once again a failure of my life. But that does not matter. Now let's talk about the improvement that I have said that I will do in this past 3 quarters. In the past quarter. Well, as you can see, I don't have any packs, that 6-pack ab, that hero body, that well-built body, but still I am not a fat guy. I still have good enough physique. And now, talking about, as I said, I learned from my mistakes. Back in my engineering college, I didn't know about law, so I studied about enough law so that I know that how Indian laws, it just becomes a one-sided harassment for men, and how I have also created prenuptial agreement, and it is something that gives equality, justice and freedom in marriage. Well, this was not part of my improvement, but as I said, what it means to be a successful man, to have great relationships personal and professional, as well as a great career. Now I am someone who aims to build a career in robotics, mechatronics, and AI. These are high-tech fields of engineering, and the most advanced form of engineering right now would be humanoid robotics. Robotics have plenty of scope when it comes to do surgery. You wouldn't require doctors at all. Everything would be done by robots. It will it will save plenty of money. And one second, now I will move on to the social part, because right now I'm someone who does not hate women, but who would like to tell the hypocrisy of our Indian women, Indian feminists, the incompetency of the Indian Parliament, and how they will change their own laws when they want to make things comfortable for themselves. Let me tell you very clearly. After my graduation, I was having a hard time getting a job, but not for a woman. If you read section 69 of BNS, then they can simply use their body to get job. For a man, he needs to prove that he really is capable of getting a job. If a company was to hire him, then he really would prove to the company that he really worth it, but not for a woman. Well, enough of that is enough. There is no point in degrading and disrespecting something which does not have any respect at all. What do I mean by that? You know it very clearly. Indian women, Indian Parliament, judiciary, and etc. And once again, the road is very clear. The road to glory. If you are someone who has this dream of becoming a CEO guy, starting your own company, and later having a great girl with you, with whom you might think of marrying, well, this video is for you. This video is for that man. And for women as well. If you do not, if you are able to watch this video till to this, and you are not angry on me, and well, this is it. So this is what I want to show you. This is my improvement up till to this day, and next we will move on to the open plane, free plane and open source mind mapping software, and later I will talk about what are the goals that I have set for this quarter month. Let's move on. Hello everyone, this is free plane and open source mind mapping software, and thanks to the creator that I am able to use it free of cost, even though everything requires money. And well, now let's talk about something what I did in this quarter, in my second quarter, from March to June, end of June. So well, I played a lot of adult games. The very first thing, when I do see and think about these things, okay, let's remove this. When I do talk about habits and my one of And one of my negative habit of watching porn and indulge in self-satisfaction. Well, this is something that is wrong, and I have realized that due to watching this porn, I became someone who got easy pleasure by doing it, and I did not had real sex with my female colleagues, with my female colleagues and my friends. Well, I am an Indian, and by the time I was watching porn, I remember when I was in my seventh grade, I had watched porn for the first time, and that too sixth or seventh class maybe. And at that time, it wasn't me who had actually go and downloaded it. There was since I used to go to cyber cafe, internet cafe, where I used to access internet to mainly download project work and really do my homework thing. Teachers will give you plenty of projects. And well, at that time, I watched porn for the first time. And I live in such a sexually repressed culture where you cannot, of course, the first thing if you have this, if you have changes, if you are a man, you experience some biological and sexual changes. Maybe you get it. I could openly say it. I do not know. I would have to make this a disclaimer in the beginning of the video. When a man had an erection for the first time, when he watches porn, when he gets actually excited, he isn't really able to talk it out to anyone. You cannot really these things. It would not be taught to you up until you are in your eighth grade. That is when you will have a chapter on age of adolescence in your class 8. And well, this is something that would this is something this porn thing. It is something that is watched by almost most of the peoples in our country, most of the peoples around the world. Well, is watching porn a bad thing, a good thing? Should we do it? Should we not do it? Uh, I will have to maybe re-record this video. This is why I really do not like this thing. I'm sorry. Please remove the part of privacy there. I will have to maybe cut this video. Well, or maybe I should be cutting it. So as I said, is watching porn a good thing, a bad thing? I'm not going to talk about it. But if someone gets addicted to watching it and they are not approaching real people, if a man is not approaching women or if a woman is not approaching men, building meaningful relationship and experiencing emotions, love and sex rather than experiencing it through movies, through porn. Really, we live in such a repressive culture where people live in fantasy. When it comes to sex, they watch porn. When it comes to romance, they watch Bollywood drama. They watch Hollywood overrated action, adventure, and drama, and nothing else. And when you do think about real life doesn't work like that. And well, This is another thing that I want to express. Next thing that I really want to talk about would be the part that in our country we have to make rape law gender neutral. Men are victim of rape by women, by men. Women can be victim of rape by men, by women, and we should have a civilized. We are a civilized human being and very exploitative one. Really, every man they would be wanting to have a harem of women with whom they would have sex with. The same thing would be with women as well. They would be wanting to have sex with plenty of men, but they are not able to express this. Why? Because of the society pressure. So every premarital sexual act should have an audio video consent. This is something that I want. I I really was someone who watches this useless Hollywood and Bollywood movies, and I suffered because of it. I suffered not because of knowing about Indian laws, and in fact, I have been drove to such a state where I would have committed suicide, not being able to take up that much society and legal harassment. And I suffered. I'm a guy who really had. I am a guy who had been deprived of his mother love. My mother was an absent woman. My father was a guy who used to work all the time. So that's what men do. They have to go and earn money. So I really had friends in my childhood with whom I used to have a lot of fight. And they were really older than me, and I used to get beaten up by them. And at that time, even when they were stronger than me, I used to act like I'm not scared of them. The thing that I want to express is the pressure that a man has of being a man. A man has the pressure to stay strong. And think about it. How easy it is to be a woman in our society, to be a modern woman. They can really wear any kind of clothes they want. Well, what does their clothes have to do with they getting raped or not? Well, it creates sexual desires among men. Something you need to understand. And they really want to make forwards not by their knowledge but by their body. They want to objectify themselves and then they want to fight to not become an object. What kind of hypocrisy is this? There are laws like Section 69. Still, there are no women who would say up against it because they want to have advantage over men. They want to exploit men financially, emotionally, and torture them mentally, psychologically, emotionally, and abuse them financially without having to pay anything with the law. They do not suffer from law. They are not punished by law. Indian judiciary is incompetent to this level. And as a guy, I really want to be an IS officer, civil servant. That's why I really okay. I will talk about this. This is why I really want to be a civil servant and IAS officer because that's I am someone who has really suffered. And how easy it is for a woman to use their body and simply choose the guy who is the most strongest. The guy who really has the really kind of this bossy attitude and strength over other men. Really, men have this hierarchy where the guy who are at the top, women they are going to choose them. just because they want to get power, and they want to be treated specially. They want to be protected, and they really want the best. There is no problem in it, but the problem it is if you ask this thing and you again asked for equality in society without really putting any efforts as men do, then this is hypocrisy. And this is the failure of the Indian Parliament and the Indian policy to not give equality. Democracy gives equality of opportunity. It does not guarantee success. For success, a person has to put in their own effort. The money which a person is paying through tax, it should be used for making and improving public infrastructure in education as a whole. And then when it comes to defense, etc., this is where the taxpayers' money should be used. But that is not the case. And people are silent about it. Court is silent about it. And who are the one who are getting harassed and abused by it? Men, because who are the one who are working? Women are not working. Really, just think about me. I am a guy who really is working for his own company, who had this dream of making my own company a global leader. Can't a woman have the same dream? Can't she work if she is not physically disabled? Is there any law that prohibits them from working? And if there is societal pressure, then she should fight against it. But it does not matter. Well, when I talk about the job role, these are the things that I want to build my career on. You can see it being robotics, hardware, software, ROS, developer, mechatronics engineer, computer vision engineer, deep learning. All of this it involves robotics, AI, mechatronics. I want to be the guy who knows almost about all of the things from manufacturing, designing a product to the sales and marketing of it, as well as knowing the law that I have to take care uh, to make it a legal company. As I said, right now I have not legalized this. I don't have any kind of certificate, and for everything you will require money. Money is what you will need. And I do not need to tell how I have suffered for money, and how in your life, if you are a man or if you are a woman, you would have gone through the same phase. You may have gone through the same phase as I am, or as you might have did, or any failure person have gone through, where they would be struggling for a job, they would be struggling for not, they might, okay, let it be. I should not be talking about it. So this thing, it will remain, continue in this quarter as well. I will gather all the tools and the technique eh, one needs to know for being or robotics software engineer, hardware engineer, etc. Even I have created one website, pushpalsania.com, pushpalsania.com. Okay, this is my website. Thank God this is still operational. So these are my career portfolios. I have not to work on it right now, but if you are going to click on it, you will have a window where you can go and check out my various project that I would have done and I will be doing and uploading it on GitHub. So I would be a CV engineer, ML engineer, data scientist and AI engineer, deep learning engineer, mechatronics and automation engineer, robotics software engineer, robotics hardware engineer. So, and all of this, you need to know all of this in order to make these kinds of robots, this high-tech human-like robots that are capable of doing everything humans are able to do, as well as they would be better than humans in doing many work. And well, this is it. Right now, these are the Indian companies that are working on Indian humanoid robotics. Well, that's great. I also have to create my own and really start from the start from the very basic. And these are the abroad companies, foreign companies that are working on humanoid robotics. One can even go and check out their website. Like suppose say this is engineeringarts.com, and you will realize that yes, they are also someone, they are ahead of us. They are ahead of me. And something that I want to tell very clearly, that I am not someone who compete with anyone. When I am going to start working on my own humanoid robot projects, I am not going to be someone who simply compare my progress with some other foreign or maybe Indian company. Why? Because you do not ever want to compare yourself to anyone or your progress. These were the skill development that I would really need to learn. Certifications in deep learning. Why need to certify? If you learn something, it is good to have certificate for it. Of course, all of this should. I'm going to go for the free certificate because I'm not earning any money as of now of my own. And something that I really want to tell in this quarter. In fact, in my first quarter, in the month of February, I missed GATE's 2025 examination, and in the month of June, 8th of June, if I remember correctly, I gave engineering services. I'm not even able to say the word engineering services preliminary examination, stage one examination. Engineering services stage one. I'm not able to say the word preliminary examination. So I didn't give the second paper of the objective type MCQ based domain specific paper. I had opted for mechanical engineering, and I didn't study anything at all in this last 4 years back when I joined engineering college in the year 2017 to now, 8 years later, I have not studied much about mechanical engineering. What a failure. Well, that's it. But still, okay, I really waste a lot of time making comments on my social media about laws being not equal. And I really did a cut and copy paste, so please forgive me for it. The thing will remain the same. The four basic exercise, bicep, tricep, shoulder, chest. Oh, sorry, regular push-up, diamond push-up, archer push-up, and decline push-up. Skipping and running. These are the basic exercises to keep your body fit and then to build the strength in your arms. Doing a basic boxing practice and eating these elements and dates that will sharpen your brain, your memory, and protein rich food to recover from all the fatigue of these exercises. And when it comes to the mental improvement, of course, you become what you think you are. Change the subconscious mind through the repetition of words, meditation, unbiased observation of thoughts and emotions. It takes 21 days to build a habit and 90 days to build a lifestyle. For that, 3 months are enough. So, really, doing all of these things, as I said, stop watching porn, movies, games, stop reading these novels, and really living in this fantasy. It is meaningless. You are simply ruining your own life. Go out, approach people, approach women, approach men, learn about laws. If you are having premarital sex with someone, if you are a guy, take their audio video consent just because there are sections like section 69 in BNS which a woman can use to file charges against you and you would really be harassed by law. Your life will be turned upside down. You will lose your job, your dignity, etc. For a woman, there is nothing, there is no problem. She can simply focus on getting internship or or getting jobs and really building her career and having sex fearlessly because there is no law for her. She has complete choice. If a guy is talking sweetly to her, if she likes her, then she would have sex with him and she does not even need to be concerned about the consent of the other man. There are plenty of women who would simply threaten and harass men to have sex, to have forceful sex with them. And really that would not be a crime against men. That is just ignored. Stop watching porn. Even there are plenty of women who watches porn. Learn to keep objects in their places. This is something that I'm going to do. Making my own bed after waking up. This is something that I have been doing from a long time. Drinking mild water after waking up. It is a good thing to make your stomach clean after you wake up. Brush your teeth every night. There are a lot of bacteria in your teeth that would really decay your teeth. Healthy food habits. Let go of tea. If you are an Indian, then tea is going to be one of the most consumed average. It might be the most consumed beverage in your home. and learn the habit of eating food at around 7 p.m. because it takes around 2 to 3 hours to digest your food, and it is good to not eat and go to sleep for your own well-being. Drink water 1 hour later, 1 hour after you had your meals, and this is something. These are good habits, and ultimately habits are what build a man, and these habits will decide your future. So these are all the improvement goals that I have, and really I just want to express my deep dissatisfaction for the Indian society, for the Indian education, for the Indian parliament, and how failure they have been. That how, as a guy, as a 27-year-old guy, I have become someone who really never had sex in my life. I have never experienced relationship and romance. Not because I'm someone who is afraid of women or does not approach women. I have faced rejection in my life. I liked a girl. I approached her. I expressed my feelings towards her. She rejected me, not because I was not good enough, but she already had some other guy. And then I believed this astrology and tarot cards just because I was an emotional man who had grown in a society, in a family, in an environment which believed in past life, which believed in true love thing, who had this all of this emotional drama, due to which I believe that astrology was true, and I would have my future partner from my past life, and that was something that had really made me very happy, and that was the first step in making an emotional fool who believed all of it, and really I expressed everything to a stranger when all of my family problems and the fact that I never had sex and sex was something that I really wanted, and how women they exploit a man for sex without ever having to wonder about anything. And I was the guy who didn't know about law, and I really suffered the anxiety and the stress of first my privacy, my dignity. Even men have dignity. They do not walk out naked. They wear clothes. They have shame. They have self-respect and dignity. They are conscious about what others think about the person, the guy. And I think what others think about me. And at that time I suffered mentally, thinking in a closed room, thinking that I have expressed all of this thing to a stranger, and now just for mere pleasure they would simply share it with everyone, and that would really make me someone who would be getting harassed in my engineering college. And later I had to lie to a girl that I do not simply have sexual desires. I am an asexual guy, but that was not the case. At that time, I felt this fear that if I really go, just because if you see the tarot cards, these are really emotional scams that are done in order to exploit women financially by these tarot cards, by these astrology uh, readers, and really the first thing. In fact, this thing would be true that men will be attracted to women for their beauty, for their body, because men simply have the most strongest desire as sex. They are repressed throughout the society. In their school, in their college, they are maybe the most attractive women who would pass it by them, but simply they are not, they would have plenty of self doubts about themselves. They are not good enough, or maybe they get nervous around women, or maybe they are scared of expressing their feelings, and etc. 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 There could be plenty of reasons. Just think about it. And for that, I even lost my dignity among men. I really do not need to express my sexual desires, what I want, what I don't want in front of everyone. But I have to, just because of this mental agony that I am perceived as a rapist in front of everyone, in my family, in my friends, in my school, in my college, etc. And that had completely broken me. I would not have been able to. And in fact, I have thought of committing suicide just because of few things I didn't did it. And only when a woman will suffer the same hate which men get, which rapists get, the same degradation, humiliation, and the harassment by the society, by the society, by the law, by the parliament, they would really understand. Really using your body as a weapon, this is really a hypocrisy of an another level, woman. And that's why I am someone who really want to be an IAS officer to build adult sex centers. If you are a man, then take my this advice to the heart. Focus on building your career. If you are, let's suppose say, a civil engineer, go to your college, make a small model of it using cement. Really focus on your career. And if you have sexual desires, then do not watch porn and masturbate, because I did this, and most of the college students, they do it. In fact, not only college, even adults, they do it. There would be legal adult sex centers, and men would go focus on their career, and when they want to have sex, they would have sex with sex workers. There would not be any threat of any sex scandal, where maybe a female would just attract you, saying that let's have sex, and then later she will be threatening you. I will file a rape charge against you, and simply give me money. If you don't give me money, then I will simply file this case, and you will simply be scared, and you will simply give her money. Don't do this. And this is why audio video consent, it is very important. We live in a country where religion is a big thing, where 7 rounds of marriage really matters. In fact, no one can even tell what your past life was. This is all just scam. This scam of these babas, of these dhongis, and really society is fooled by it, and this society is really fooled by this priest who just, like, I really do not want to say anything of how much this emotional and this love can go. And general men, they are harassed, and their life does not even matter. Men's life do not matter to con- and this parliament, to this parliament, and in this country, and to this society.
If you are not rich, if you are not successful, if you are not someone who really moves in a mm, luxurious car, you do not own a bungalow, you do not have position and power, you are not respected. So this is it. A man who is a failure, I'm going to say it myself as a failure because if I was someone, I had done my engineering from a good college that's in the top, top 50 colleges across the nation, across India. When you look at the NIRF ranking table, and well, I didn't, I did not opt, I, I did not focus on my career back then, and whatever may be the reason, I'm not going to explain. But I was not someone who was elected in big global companies like Microsoft, like Apple, Amazon, etc. All of these big companies where you will get good package, good salary package, and you really have the funds to raise your own company, really not getting humiliated after your graduation, that you are simply sitting idle in your home and maybe you are just struggling for a job. You are actually, when I struggle for money, I never wanted to work for any company. I actually wanted to start my own company and I was really a guy. Now that is not applicable to me. This would be applicable to every man. This would be applicable to every human being. We have self doubt. We doubt our abilities. And at that time, I wanted to be a CEO, a chief executive officer, but I did not know. I just, I just, I just used to dream and not take any step. I used to be afraid of what other people will think about me. I used to be care. I used to care about their opinion. I used to I used to be conscious of what they think about me. If I ask some foolish question, they will simply laugh at me, etc., etc., etc. Please support me in open letter to the citizens of the country to respect equality, to respect both men and women. Even though I have made plenty of even though I have made plenty of humiliating comments against women, well, let me tell you, I was playing this game. Maybe I should tell about adult games. Well, let's not. I'm not going to tell about this. But I do want to tell something that would be absolute truth that that in adult games a man is able to live the fantasy which he dreams of having. That is to have sex with that is the dream to have sex with plenty of women, to have his own harem. And this is what kings used to have. Kings used to have 300 concubines, 400, 500 concubines, and really plenty of queens. Enjoy the life that men dreamed of. But rather than that, most people, they watch porn and they masturbate. And well, This is the kind of this is the kind of societal pressure which everyone has, and the only one who really lives their life to the fullest are the porn actors, adult actors, but they really do not get respect. Their privacy is not respected. They are not. That's really a thing. Everyone really secretly desires to have sex with plenty for a man to have sex with plenty of other women, and for a female to have plenty of sex with other men. Really, in society, every man just stays as a good guy, and every woman who really has sexual desires, they just stay as a good girl because they do not want to be called they do not want to be called a whore. And really, it is really good because if they really do have plenty of sexual premarital sex with other men, then no man will be wanting to marry them, and that would create a problem. And that's where women they have premarital sex and then they lie, and then our country forms gender injustice laws in the name of protecting women. An 18 plus year old woman does not have sexual desire and they are simply innocent as per Indian Parliament, government, society. What a hypocrisy. I really want a virgin woman, and please support the rights of virgin individual. A virgin man or a woman should get a virgin woman or a man, their spouse. And if they marry some non-virgin without their knowledge, then it should be an offense which will give them 5 years of imprisonment. So the fear of the jail time, they would simply tell truth, or maybe they would simply lie. But this is the thing: people they lie, and there are men like me who are suffering, who are playing these adult games, masturbating, not really having sex. Even the most hypocrite thing that I have seen in Indian society is when Indian wives they will file court case for marital rape. Women should not marry men, and please have premarital sexual agreement. You would really know that women really need money from men, and this is all the reason why they marry men to have children, and that would be it. And for men, men simply want sex because they would have these feelings. Even women will have feelings, and feelings they may change, but law would not change for men, and you do not want to be harassed by law. Just think about how, just think about how this Indian society parliament and Odissi has made me suffer mentally, that I am expressing and talking about law in my every video, expressing my agony, and really there is not many people to support me. There are not people who really that there are not really there are people who really does not understand my agony, my suffering. Women will stay silent. They will not ask for gender equality in law because they want to play victim. They are helpless. They have weak body. they mensurate and they etc etc etc. They will give all of these reasons which I simply does not give attention to. Equality is equality. If in the society there are more men working in a certain institution, then there will simply be equality of opportunity. If women are not capable to prove themselves and get that opportunity, then they should simply struggle for job just like men do. Even they will choose to objectify themselves, have sex with men, they will get pleasure and sex. They will get money and sex. That is it. Okay. So about I'm sorry, I just kept talking about laws and laws, and I'm really frustrated with these laws and the fact that I am simply a man who is unable to do anything. When it comes to my coaching institution, I had really take taken a step furthermore, and I'm close to starting it. Hope in hope I hope that in this quarter I will take care of all the legal work. I will read and understand all of the legal things which a person should know, the corporate laws, the company laws, the MSME laws, and etc. And start a legal company because I'm not really someone who is a scammer. I'm a failure guy who is struggling for money, who has this ambition to go from this small place to a large place and really be the king. In fact, I also want to be an IAS to legalize sex work, to make legal adult centers, and really for my sexual pleasure, I really want to have three sex workers with whom I could have sex fearlessly and really enjoy sex and have really fulfill the fantasy of a guy who has sex with multiple women at, at the same time. That would be it. For that, one needs to really become rich. Just because we are animals, we are human beings, and our society works on three things: position, power, money. This is it. So, thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day. Like and share my videos. Start your own journey of self mastery and success. Understand that everyone have weaknesses and one has to focus on it to improve and become the most successful man or woman in their life, living a satisfied life both emotionally, mentally, financially, sexually. Thank you. Well, I'm sorry for not adding this line earlier. This is an important improvement that happened in this quarter and my second quarter. Ever since I graduated from my engineering college, I was really very anxious about not having my own money. I used to compare myself with my peers, and as well as I really do not like taking money from my family. And right now, I'm someone who is a 27-year-old guy, still who is dependent on his family, and I'm someone who has a negative parenting experience, I would say. I like the love and care from my mother. And if one will realize, then this is the root of all problems in my life. Basically, I like the love and care from my mother. My father used to take care of me, and that's why I used emotions where men should be using their reason. And I am someone who deals with women foolishly, naively, innocently, whatever you may like to call it, and really being dependent on my father. It is it is going to reduce soon, and I'm really sorry for stuttering. I can't control it. And as I have said, my first mother, she expired, and I had a stepmother, and really there is no emotional bonding between me and her. And she just used to she is someone who has food for the whole family, and well, that was her duty, and she has not and she has and she has never put any other extra effort, I believe, out of her own, unless she was told by my father. This is something very personal that a person might not share. But the thing is, my brain just keeps thinking about all of this, and I'm someone who don't have friends right now, reliable, trusted friends who are strong as well, just like me. So if there is no emotional bonding within family, then I believe person should not stay together. That's just a toxic relationship. And as I have already said, my father is a guy who is busy in his work. That's what men do, but men also have a duty towards their family, especially their when they have their and they have their first when their when their children have lost their biological absent mother, and then there is a stepmother who does not really talk in a very sweet manner with the children. She is a bit rude, and that is understandable. We are not her real children, and this is what happens when a person does not take their marriage very seriously. There were plenty of mistakes which my father did, and you would see how false charges have ruined the life of men, how women they have plenty of premarital sex. And I'm not talking about my family, I'm talking about the life of men in general, how it becomes just a topic of humiliation and discussion in society, a way to mock a man. And you would have also heard about these cases Blue Drum murder case, really brutal murder just because wife has premarital sex and love affair with some guy, and then the husband becomes the victim of it. Please don't ruin the life of some other person. Respect it. And that's why I say we men needs to have premarital agreement in our marriage, as well as for men. For me, I will talk about me. For me, virginity really matters to me. I'm someone who has masturbated, as I have said, all this time. I never really had sex with any woman. Even when I had chances, I just back off just because of the societal pressure, peer pressure, family pressure. And then, if one has stayed virgin for so long, then why not be virgin for your wife? When I'm going to have sex, I will experience those emotions for the first time, and I really want a virgin woman. Otherwise, I too will commit some heinous murder just because the Indian Parliament have not created a law to respect the rights of virgin individuals. Please understand, we are human beings. We have emotions. Even animals, we are animals, and animals have emotions as well. They have their natural biological instincts as well. We as well. I as well. A man wants to have a man have this pure nature that they also at one point they want to have sex with plenty of women. They want to have a harem. The same thing goes with men as well. Sorry, the same thing goes with women as well. And they also want to experience that strong emotional sexual relationship with their future spouse, both men and women. So this is very important for me. That's what the success is all about. You may be someone who earns a lot of money, but if you are not really satisfied in your heart, in your emotions, in your mind, then you simply would not be satisfied. Right now, as I have said, I do not earn any money as of now, but I plan to earn a lot of money, and that is eventual. If I have really made so much effort like this, then I really would be successful if I don't give up. And really, as a guy, at I'm really just talking about. I'm just really making this video long, and people they really don't want to watch videos so long. They get bored. Why? And how does it benefit them? Why should they be watching it? Well, you are really listening to the story of a young man in his late 20s, and really everything that a man thinks about from their marriage to their career to their problems and to a man who simply will not stop even if that guy has to write an open letter to the citizens of the country, to all of the Indian leaders and all of these ministers who really have this power. With their one voice, they can make a change throughout the law. And I will simply be screaming out of the top of my lungs and really crying, screaming, I want equality in law. I want premarital agreement. I want audio video consent before premarital sex. They can simply do it. Please respect men of this country. And women, they have plenty of premarital sex. Not an issue for them. They don't have any kind of fear. I have said this again and again on my social media account. I will upload this premarital agreement as well. And well, next thing that I really want. And this is it pretty much. So this was an important improvement in my life. I really want to be a self-dependent millionaire guy. Sorry, not millionaire. The first, I am not able to speak the word. One step above this was millionaire. First, I really such a really such state I am in. First, millionaire. First, millionaire. Trillionaire first. Okay, you get that idea. So India has a economy of 4 trillion US dollars. Meanwhile, USA has around of 25 trillion US dollars. And I believe China has a GDP of around 18 billion US dollars. And well, this is something like it. I believe when I'm going to really what I have in my mind, I will do it. I hope to do it. I hope to be very rich, very successful in my career, having lots of money, living in a very living in a very luxurious house, and well, I'm fine with it. Even if I'm living in a even if I'm living in a small house, but then again, I want someone who is very attractive. 36, 24, 36 inches, the most attractive woman should have great body, and I would have the greatest sex of my life, the greatest first sex of my life. And I'm simply shameless expressing all of this in front of everyone online. I do not know how would other men would react on it, how they would think, especially the evil intentions they might have. Well, this is what happens when you are really born in a sexually oppressed culture who never had any girlfriend, who was ignorant about law, and who suffered emotionally and mentally just because of this. Just as I've already said this, I did in my video. And then you are expressing like this in front of everyone things that one should not, things that should always be private. But if anything goes wrong in my life, I will always blame the Indian Parliament and the Indian judiciary for it. The Indian society that has done nothing but ruin my life out of their sex oppressive culture to the jealous company of men in my schooling time. Few men just because of whom I felt fear in expressing my emotions to women, even though I do used to talk to women, but I never really kissed or dated any girls back in my schooling time. And back in my college years, when I had feelings for a girl, I expressed it in one go, and she rejected me. At least I'm not someone who has regret of not being able to speak what I have in my emotions and in my mind. And then I believe this tarot cards and astrology just because our society have these seven rounds of shit together. And I believe these lies. Thank you, society. Thank you, Indian culture, for ruining my life. Meanwhile, there will be plenty of women who would have premarital sex. And then I had a problem with this one attractive girl who was very beautiful. She had a very fair skin, and there were plenty of friends around her. And I had problem with hers, and I had problem with her boyfriends. But still, I was satisfied with it. I just made all the mistakes that a man would. I just chose the wrong woman. Maybe I just felt the wrong emotions for the wrong woman. And now I really want a good girl who improves my life. I do not want to be some. That's what this whole success is all about. I may earn money at a later stage, but for me, relationships are very important. Just because I have seen how my father has suffered in his life, just because he didn't have the support of his wife and my mother, and he paid a heavy price for it with losing opportunities in his career. Now I really want to be emotionally stable. I do not want to be some random guy, some guy who is really just just really not been getting, just not been able to get over some XYZ moment. And well, I have really made this video simply a video expressing my agony. Maybe I might not upload this. I might not add this thing. Okay, let's end it. Thank you for watching this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like my video if you like it. For justice in India, support gender equal laws, legalize pre-marital agreement, audio video consent. Please check that out. Thank you. Jai Hind. I'm not going to say that word. Or maybe I should say Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. But really, I would really respect this country when this country will respect me. When this country is going to respect the efforts of men. If they are not going to respect it, it is meaningless for me because I do not really have this feeling in my heart for my country. I may say it just to get the support of the peoples, but I may not really have any feeling towards it just because of the way how you are going to treat men, how the Indian Parliament and the judiciary is going to treat men with forming one-sided law. Thank you for watching this video.